Hello, and welcome to our Meisterplan Roadmap webinar, the latest and the greatest. My name is Caroline Holitsky, and I'm the Director of Product Marketing. Also presenting today is Debbie Somerville, our Director of Customer Success, and Oliver Nemechek, who is our integrations expert. For our agenda today, we'll focus on technical features, especially integrations, and we'll also have a quick peek at what features are coming soon. All attendees today we have a raffle today, and all attendees are going to be entered into our raffle, and you will be entered to win 1 hour of consulting services, and we will announce our winner at the end of the webinar. So now I will hand it over to Deb to get us started.
Thanks, Caroline. All right, our topic today is more technical in nature. We're focused on integrations with Meisterplan. So when data gets synchronized between Meisterplan and your existing tools, you'll increase your data accuracy without taking extra time to do it yourself. Now, most modern API cloud-based systems can be integrated with. This is just a sample. Integrations are going to depend on your particular process and situation. Now, some common interfaces will include new projects. Very typical if those people that are asking for new projects are not within Meisterplan. Or project demand also makes sense to integrate if you have project management tools that get down to this level of detail. One of our most popular integrations is the resource pool. Integrating the people and their start and end dates help ensure your capacity remains accurate. So as you assess your ecosystem, consider the following questions. 1, what do you consider your source of truth for these data sources? Is it Meisterplan or is it another solution? And 2, how much time each month would be saved through an interface? For those pretty new to integrations, this slide helps you quickly understand some terms that are going to be thrown at you during the demo that I wanted to get explained. Now, integrations can be done in either direction, meaning your data source could trigger an update to Meisterplan, or Meisterplan could trigger an update to another software. To make these updates between the systems happen, something is needed in the middle to know what to do and when to do it. Middleware is what is used to connect two systems together and talk to each other. We're going to use Microsoft Power Automate in our demos today. Our first demo is going to be on the project intake. What we're going to demo for you is that a new project is requested somewhere. This could be an adaptive card in Microsoft Teams. This could be a Microsoft form. This could be a Smartsheet form. These are just examples, but something will be entered in that form, and that is going to trigger a new entry that the flow in Microsoft Power Automate would start, and it would add a project into Meisterplan. So I'm now going to hand it over to Oliver, who's going to actually show you this in action.
So thank you, Debbie, for the intro. And our first use case starts with the project intake form that is created in Microsoft Forms. This example form has the required fields to create a new project in Meisterplan. In addition, there's a comment field to describe the new project. With the Submit button, you start this request. After the form is submitted, a Microsoft Power Automate flow starts in the background. The form submission is the trigger for the flow. The new project request is now created in Meisterplan and is shown in the board view as a new idea. So now let's take a look how this works. This is the Microsoft Power Automate platform. It is a low-code platform to build flows without using code. A flow is built from individual program steps. A program step is called an action. A flow is triggered by an event. Our example flow starts with the trigger when a new response is submitted. It refers to the ID of the Microsoft Forms form. With the icon of an action, you can identify what connector is used with this action. The next action reads the data entered in the form. Then we're going to check if there is already a project in Meisterplan with the name entered in the form. Only if the project doesn't exist in Meisterplan, it will be created. In the form, we didn't ask for the stage gate we want a new project to be in, but all new projects must be in stage gate ID. So we preset it in the flow action. And that's it. That is our first use case. Debbie, it's you.
Awesome. Thank you, Oliver. All right. So our second demo is going to include the opposite direction. Meisterplan is going to initiate an action somewhere else. So in this case, imagine you're in the planning cycle and you want to notify project managers when their projects have been approved. So basically the stage gate has changed, some field has changed, and that's what initiates an email to be sent to the assigned project manager. Oliver, take it away.
This use case, again, starts in Meisterplan in the board view. The project Code Performance Review got approved by the portfolio board and now moves to the stage gate approved. The change of the stage gate to approved triggers another Power Automate flow in the background. This trigger we also call a webhook. As I am the project manager assigned to the approved project, I got this message informing me about the approval. The message shows the name and the new stage gate of the project and has a link to the Meisterplan project. And how does this flow look like? Let's first have a look at the trigger. This element of the Meisterplan connector is called Create Webhook. It defines at which event this flow starts. In our example, the event is project update. So we updated the stage gate of a project. The next action checks which fields in the project have changed. And only if the stage gate changed, the project manager gets an email notification. Before sending an email, we need to check if a project manager is assigned to the project. Only then we will send an email. That is the second use case. And now back to Caroline.
Before Caroline starts, I just want to highlight, I know we went through two simple use cases. We have experts in this area, including Oliver, who can actually help identify opportunities for you along with your customer success manager. We can help you design your own workflow. We can teach you how to do that. We can also do the integrations and development ourselves, along with your team to design it, the requirements, and test it. So give us a call. Either contact your customer success manager or email us at support@meisterplan.com. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Debbie. And let me share my screen. All right, so we will move on. Oops, sorry, wrong slide. So we'll start with the roadmap.
So you need to pick the screen.
It says I'm sharing my whole screen. Let me try again. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
okay, great. All right, so we'll start with our product goals. So if you attended our last webinar, our product goals haven't changed, and we have product goals around resource management and portfolio managers and user experience. But the one that we're really highlighting today and really concentrating on today is improved integrations. And another thing that we'd love to show you guys, and I'll go there in just a moment, but we have our product roadmap. And so this is a great place for you guys to keep up to date with what's been released and also vote on the different features that we're either have in beta or in different views. Can you now see my my screen showing the product roadmap? Okay, perfect. All is working well then. Okay, yeah, so we have in the product roadmap, you can see the area of the features that have already been released. We don't currently have anything in beta, but you'd be able to see our beta. And then for planned, you can also see what we have planned. I think I might need to refresh. Yeah, there we go. So you can see what we have planned here for both in beta and planned. That's your opportunity. If you go in and click onto a card, you're able to vote on these. And that's your opportunity to both vote what's your priority, but also give some input on your use case and what's most important to you and how you would like to see the features developed. Then we also have our under consideration, and we'll go into more in depth here. But these are all the features that we're considering for the near future. So this is really where you can tell what your true priorities are, what's really important for you to have come next within our roadmap, and also tell more information about how you would like those features to be developed and what your personal use cases are. So now let's go and take a look at some things that have already been released. So we'll start with what we call our self-service system. So this is our self-service sandbox, sorry. So this is your own, basically a copy of your Meisterplan system, and you're able to use that to test out new features, test out configurations. It's a copy of your system, but it won't affect any of your productive data. So you can go in and really play around. This feature is a premium only feature. So if you've been considering upgrading to premium, this is one of the premium features that you would receive. Another premium feature that we've also released in the recent past was our auto provisioning and sync from Active Directory. So if you use an Active Directory such as Azure AD, you can really enable your user access management through that and synchronize and allow for auto provisioning in a really simple and easy manner. So this too is one of our premium features. Another feature that has been released in the last 6 months is our configurable session timeout. So this is something that is for all editions. And so you can, if you're working for a few hours within Meisterplan and you don't want to be interrupted and be automatically logged out, you can change the amount of time between your timeout sessions. So that allows you to make sure that you're not interrupted when you're in the middle of your planning. And a very, very brand new update to one of our features just released today is an update to our financial actuals feature. So you now have the ability to add and edit actual financial events in your project details. So previously you were able to import your actual financial events through other sources, but now you're able to go in and add those and edit those directly in Meisterplan using the project details. So now we'll switch over to what's coming soon. So one of the features that's coming soon that goes hand in hand with our financial actuals is allowing the separation of your project budget. So right now there's just an overall project budget, but we're going to allow the separation of that where you can delineate whether it's CapEx expenses versus OpEx expenses for your budgets. Another feature that's coming in the near future is you might have noticed we've recently made some changes to our scenario comparison. So in addition to be able to compare scenarios within the portfolio designer, we've also added that into the information panel where you can see different, if you look into the project overview, you can see different information and compare two different scenarios and see if you choose one plan alternative versus another, what will the real differences be? And now with this update that's coming soon, you'll also be able to use that similar information directly in the internal reporting in Meisterplan. Okay, and then the next one, if you use our roadmap view, there's some updates to that coming. So there's some visual updates that are coming to it soon within the next couple of weeks. And then in a month or two after that, we're also going to be creating the ability to add milestones within your roadmap view. So you really can get an overall view of what's coming for a longer term period and what those milestones are and how that can affect your planning. And another feature that's coming soon that I'm pretty excited about is the ability to configure or customize your view access. So you'll be able to say who has the ability to access what views based on their user groups. So for instance, if you want to allow more team members who typically aren't active within Meisterplan itself to go into the new My Project view and see what projects they're assigned to and make sure that their allocations and their availability looks correct, you'll be able to make sure that they don't have access to other views that they shouldn't see, but are able to see what the views that are intended for them to be able to see. Okay, so that's there are more. So let me go back over here. So there are more features that are coming, but I don't want to take too much time. So But I definitely encourage you guys to go to our product roadmap and check these out and learn more and give your input. Now we have a fourth category that's our under consideration. And these, as you can see, we have them categorized into different categories such as resource management, collaboration, and so on. And there's a lot of different features that we're considering right now. There's a couple that I'd like to highlight for you guys. So the first one, and these two that I'm highlighting today are similar. So one feature that we're considering that we would love to have more input from you guys on are whether you would like to allow project managers to be able to enter actual time worked directly in Meisterplan. So that would be for themselves or for the resources or the people that are working on the projects that they lead. So if it's very interesting for you to have your project managers go in there and be able to do that directly in Meisterplan themselves. And then similar to that would be the ability to allow team members to go in and edit their own actual time to make sure that it's accurate and that they have that ability to do that, and you don't have to put that on anyone else and make sure that the accuracy is there. So that is our product roadmap for now. Again, I very much encourage you guys to go to our product roadmap, take a look, vote, give your input. You can submit support tickets for any requests that you don't see there, but also to give any of your further input there. So, okay, well now we have time for some questions. So let me take a look to see if we have any questions that have come in. If you would like to have a question answered, please raise your hand. It's in the control panel. There's a little hand icon is where you would raise your hand. And what we'll do is we'll start with some questions that we've received earlier. So the first question, and there were multiple questions that were similar, were around how to integrate financial data that comes from a financial system instead of it being in something like Excel. So are we able to integrate financial data from a financial system into Meisterplan?
So, and now let me answer this. In general, we can say we can handle any integration to any tool. As we learned before, there's always Meisterplan as the one, and there is your source or target tool as the other. And so it is required to have a technical API to access the data in your source system. And that is something you have to ask your vendor if your tool offers any kind of REST API.
Great, thank you, Oliver. We have one individual who asked the question of whether they can get the Meisterplan product roadmap link. Yes, absolutely. We have that link in our slides, and we'll be sharing our slides in our follow-up email. So we'll make sure that that you have access to that as well. The next question is, would it be possible to get the Worked Power app examples to test on our own instance?
So Power Automate is part of the Microsoft Office, Microsoft 365 platform of the Power Platform. So when you want to use Power Automate as a platform for Meisterplan, Meisterplan is a premium connector. So you need to have a license, a plan for Power Automate to be able to use that premium connectors. So Power Automate itself is part of the Microsoft Power Platform of the licensing model. There are also free functionality, but especially for those vendor connectors, I would call it, as Meisterplan is one, you need to have a special plan. There are simple plans from Meisterplan, so they start with the smallest plan. It is called a per user plan. I think this is around about $12 or $15 a month to pay for. And to have that use cases we showed today, it requires only one user license to do so. Yeah.
So Oliver, if somebody was very interested in just maybe the project intake example that you showed today, whoever reached out to us, how about we connect with them afterwards? And would you be able to share the flow or help them get started in their own instance?
Yes. So as it is a technique that is running in the context of the customer, we can support building those flows, give you our knowledge how to do that. A second is the Power Platform allows us to provide free templates for flows. And we're on the way to build such free templates. And one of those templates could definitely be a flow like this with project intake form. I'm not sure. I think it was released today, but I didn't have a look at it now.
So that makes sense. So the flow you showed was really can't be plugged and played into somebody else's real quick because they're using different fields. Yeah. However, there is a template that could be free. We can connect offline to the person who submitted that question.
Yes.
Right. Perfect. And hopefully it's okay for me to say it was Mike Demokos who submitted the question, and he did respond that it would be good because they already have Power Automate, and if a template could be provided, that would really help them get started. So glad we can help. We're happy to do so. I did see a hand raised, but now it's down. Mr. Kenny Netter, do you still have a question? I'll unmute you for a moment. But maybe you don't have the question anymore.
So my question was related to the last question, the same as Mike's in terms of a template to get started there. So I can follow up with Debbie afterwards.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, let me see what other questions we have.
Caroline, there was another question in the submitted ones.
Okay. Go for it.
It said, yeah, is there any native form in Meisterplan? They love the idea of this new project link being able to be put in outside their on their intranet, so outside Meisterplan, but on their intranet still. But based on how we demoed it, we're saying it's an external form of sorts. So they're asking, do we plan to have any native form option directly in Meisterplan? So I think that's perhaps a follow-up we're going to need to do. I know on the roadmap there's some project details, custom forms being considered, and need to think that may not be able to live outside Meisterplan still. You may need be able to be a user of Meisterplan, but we can follow through on that answer. But if you are a Microsoft shop or any shop, it doesn't need to be Microsoft, this flow is not too cumbersome to create as a connection, so we'd be happy to follow up and just make sure you understand the simplicity of connecting a simple form to Meisterplan.
Perfect. Okay, we have another question that came in asking, is there any timeline when the actuals feature will be available? That's from Raman Idalat. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. Would you maybe, if I unmute you, can you clarify, because there's some portions of the actuals feature that are already released, so maybe you can clarify specifically what you're looking for. If I can unmute you. maybe, okay, maybe we'll just get back with you on that, but let me fill you in. So
Hello?
what has, oh, yeah, okay, there you are. Thanks. Perfect.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
so thank you so much. So the question that I have is the timeline that when you will release the actual features, the one that the employees can enter their actuals.
Okay. Right. So right now, that one is just under consideration. So it's not something that we're currently working on. We're getting the feedback from you guys, our customers, to see how high of a priority that is, and also to find out exactly what you're looking for. So I don't have an exact timeline for that, but I would highly encourage you to either get with your customer success representative and let them know your interest, or you can submit a support ticket, or you can go into the product roadmap and vote on that feature. Those are ways to let them know. And the more interest and need for the feature, that we always take that into consideration as we're deciding what to work on next. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
As
Yeah,
they
you're
say in
welcome.
Chicago, vote early, vote often. Just kidding.
There you go. Okay, perfect. Loving all the questions. Please don't be shy. If you have any questions, please feel free to submit them. Let me look through to see if there are any others that I've missed. There is one. Let me see. So there's a question on the project intake example. It says, if we don't have a project start and end dates yet, is that something that is required in order to get that into Meisterplan?
Good question, because in Meisterplan, a project needs to have a start and an end date. Now, this is part of our functionality. When entering the data in a form, this is in a very early stage, and you typically don't know when this project should start. So there's an estimate. So it is not required to have that information in the form itself. So what you can do, you can have preset information, you can have defaults that you can place in some kind of hidden fields in the form. This is one example. Or you can say, let's have some kind of transformation. For example, saying, I want to have this started in May. And in the background, we calculate the start or the end date for May beginning or end, or any other kind of formula that will fit for you. In the end, we need to have that date calculated in Meisterplan.
Perfect.
Does it answer your question?
It answers it for me. Okay, great. Thank you, Oliver.
Great.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Please feel free to raise your hand. I don't know, Debbie, if you've seen anything that I've missed.
Yep. No one's putting any more in the questions.
Okay, perfect. So if those are all of the questions, then we have to announce our raffle winner, and we do have a raffle winner. It is Susan McCartan from Vista Equity. So congratulations, Susan. You have won a free hour of consulting. And we will be getting in touch with you to give you more information and let you figure out how you want to use that free hour. So yeah, okay. Well, I think that wraps it up for us today. We thoroughly appreciate all of the participation, all of the questions, all of the people that attended. Like I said before, the webinar has been recorded, so we will submit a link, or excuse me, send a link in a follow-up email, as well as our slides today. The slides will include the link to the product board, as well as some other useful information that you guys can use. If you have any other follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And like I've said many times, please go to the product board, let us know your thoughts, give us your feedback, because we want to make Meisterplan the absolute best product that you use. So that's really important to us that you can be successful with what we do. So thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.